Hello, Zach here, and I've got another random map game. Wahey! Today we're going to be looking at a very old game, I think now, between Halen and Chris. Halen playing in blue here as CNSLF, down to the south of the map, and up to the north of the map in teal we have L Clan Chris playing as Huns also, and so is CNSLF. And the map is Gold Rush, which is something we don't see very often. As you're probably well aware, the center of this map is extremely important, as it has a lot of gold right here. Unfortunately for Halen, his nearest gold spot, apart from the small one in his base, is very far out, and Chris is kind of fortunate that he has gold very close to his town centre, actually, in this map. But something about this map which makes this game very interesting that I'm about to show you is the fact that there are a ton of wolves. There's wolves here, there is wolves here, there's wolves here, there's wolves here. There's a lot of wolves on this map, and there's a very strange strategy that we're going to see today that is it just makes me laugh every time. It's so funny. Scouting, of course, is important. Your scouts don't get attacked by wolves, so they can actually find where all the wolves are, and then you can usually use that to avoid them. But in this case, Chris decides that he doesn't want to avoid the wolves, and that he actually wants to run into an encounter with them, and we will see that very shortly, I am sure. This is actually Halen we're watching now. Halen is one of the old greats of Age of Empires, if you did not know. And yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a pretty old game because Halen's a pretty old player, and this is when Chris was really starting to take a shine in the game. Let's have a look at Chris's scouting. Just noticed as well, Chris is actually not into the going up to the feudal age yet. He's actually making a barracks, and Halen, on the other hand, is already halfway to feudal. No barracks for him. And this is because Chris is going to do a certain strategy. We should be able to see. Oh, there we go. He's got a militia out right here, and he's just going to use this militia to lure wolves. That's a bit strange, isn't it? He's luring wolves. I should probably update the scores there, I just noticed. He's heading over here because he knows there's some wolves over this area here, hence why he's put this palisade down. And he's basically just going to follow his palisade walls, so here and then here, because he knows there is some wolves there. And we'll see his militia moving over in this direction, and he's going to go pick up some wolves. Unfortunately, though, militias are slower than wolves are. Wolves manage to catch them up, and as you can see, Halen advancing up to the feudal age now, as Chris is only halfway there. We're about to see, though, that this militia is about to pick up some more wolves. Here we go. There's 3 or 4 wolves here, just going to start chasing him down. Now he's got 5 following him. He's just going to head over to this next palisade and pick up some more, because why not? It's always fun to have a trail of wolves following you, I guess. He's making another militia because he knows this one is going to die. There's another few wolves joining in the pack. Now he's got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 wolves following him. Yeah, I believe that is 10 wolves right there, losing his militia, but he's going to send another one in straight after. And his plan, you will see very shortly. I'm not going to say exactly what it is yet, although you probably have a good idea exactly what is going on. And of course, let's not forget this is a Hun war, so we may see some cavalry archers and knights later on. But I think for now, Halen is actually making spearmen. I don't know what he's planning to do with them. Perhaps he's going to go and try and pick up some wolves of his own. We'll have to see. What's he doing? Oh, he's sending a spearman out over here. He's got 1 wolf following him. I don't know if he's actually going to run into Chris here. No, he's not going to run into Chris, so he doesn't know exactly what is going on. But if we look at Chris's point of view, Chris is running around with this militia. It's only on 12 HP, but look how many wolves he's got following him. Let's turn this off. Wow, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 wolves following Chris right now. And guess where he's leading them? Well, judging by the general direction he's heading, it's straight into Halen's base. I don't know how well he's going to deal with 10 wolves coming at him. We'll have to see. This is a very interesting kind of rush. Let's just speed things up while he gets a little bit closer, right down to 1 HP, and this militia is going to die, but in come the wolves ready to attack Halen's villagers. And I bet Halen was not expecting that many wolves to just suddenly turn up on his doorstep. He's going to lose this villager here. The wolves are going to disperse and start killing off these villagers as well. This is absolutely hilarious. wolves coming in from all angles. It's a shame Chris couldn't get to here and let his militia die, but these wolves now joining in the attack. Another wolves, more wolves coming around the side. This villager's probably going to die. These ones are going to feel the hot full force of the wolves as well. And Halen actually running out of his base with a villager here with 6-7 wolves following him straight back to Chris's base. Meanwhile, at Chris's base, we've got Halen on the offensive with some spearmen, but they're not going to last too long against these skirmishes. One more hit from that, and that one is dead. But as you'll see in a second, Halen is running straight back to him with these villagers, this villager here and the wolves. I think this villager is probably going to die before it reaches Chris's base. Just 3 HP left on that right now. And I'm sure it's going to die just in 1 second. 1 HP left. Run for your life, villager. Run, run, run. And I think it's going to die just there. And now we've got these wolves right on the outskirts of Chris's base. In comes Halen with his scout cavalry. Is he going to make another unit to follow them in? We'll have to see. Chris going to move out with this skirmisher. This skirmisher is going to get mauled to death. Oh dear, Chris, that skirmisher is going to die, I think. Heading back to Halen's base. It's like backwards and forwards with the wolves. Who can deposit the most wolves in his opponent's base? We'll have to see. But Halen pushing out with a few skirmishers and some spearmen. He's going to kill off this skirmisher right here. Unlucky Chris, not going to have much luck getting these wolves. And now Halen is going to be able to... Let me just switch to Halen's quickly. Oh, he lost the skirmisher there. Man, these wolves are packing a punch. He's now going to be able to run into Chris's base with these guys and try perhaps to deposit them into Chris's base. This is absolutely brilliant. Oh, I love this map. It's absolutely excellent for the wolves. Halen continuing to make skirmishes, I've noticed as well. Not much resource for him, so not nearly at the castle age for a while. In comes more units from Halen. Just going to deposit these wolves right in Chris's base. Here we go. Wolves coming in. Chris having to garrison inside of his town centre. That's 7 wolves right there, right into Chris's base. The wolves going out looking for Chris's villagers to eat, and Chris having to kill them off with his town centre. This is absolutely brilliant. Oh man, Chris losing 1 villager there, and these wolves are going to have to be killed off by the town centre. You can kill them off if you right click the wolves. A little bit confused why Chris isn't using his town centre to kill them off just yet. Maybe he's going to do that in a moment. There we go, as you can see, just sniping them off. But he can't do anything with his villagers until these wolves are dead. As you can see, going out over here to try and kill this villager. This villager's having a hard time as well. Going to have to kill them off. Oh, this is absolutely brilliant. There we go. Chris just trying to kill off the wolves. And this has delayed him so much. Meanwhile, at Halen's base, Halen's coming in with a few more skirmishes to keep the pressure on. But he's also got quite a few farms up as well. And he's probably looking to go to the castle age pretty soon. Absolutely brilliant strategy, tactic kind of thing. It made me laugh so much when I saw this recorded game and watched this. I've got to thank Cision for putting this on his website, aocbox.com. aocbox.be or something. I will leave a link in the description to the website where you can find this recorded game. Oh god, I absolutely love it. One thing as well, you can tell this is a kind of older game because the way that the players play, the way they wall their bases, it's so different to nowadays as well. Like, it's very unusual to see this much feudal war, I suppose. I mean, usually by now you'd be in the castle age and you'd have cavalry archers streaming into your base. It's not the case here though. It's a little bit different. Chris putting up a watchtower on this gold pile right here to make sure it is safe and secure. And Chris actually with quite a few skirmishes now, probably wondering where Halen's skirmishes are. He knows Halen is probably going to be up to the castle age in a moment, and that is exactly what Halen is looking to do. Get up to the castle age very soon. And perhaps make some cavalry archers and knights. He's not actually got a blacksmith down yet, so very late upgrades at the blacksmith. I'm not 100% sure if he's got a wheelbarrow just yet. And Chris doesn't have a blacksmith either, which again is very unusual. Usually you see blacksmith much earlier than this. Can't see whether he's got wheelbarrow. There's no real way to tell unless I spend ages watching a villager. I don't think he has though. He's up to the castle age though now, and Chris is pushing out with these skirmishers. We'll have to see what damage he can do with these guys. Hopefully he's going to be able to do a little bit because he's falling a little bit behind with advancing. If we look at his economy, he's way away from being up to the castle age right now, but he's got a big score lead due to the fact he's got so much military. Speed things up while he heads over to Halen's base. Let's see what he can do with these guys. He's not got any upgrades on these skirmishers yet, so it's going to make it a little bit hard for him to actually pick off any of Halen's villagers. We'll have to see what he can do. Is he going to get rounded up? He's heading over to this wood camp here. This could be nice for him. He may be able to pick off 1 or 2 villagers here at the very least. They don't do enough damage. Oh man, if he had +1 attack, which I think, oh no, he doesn't have. It's really unfortunate he doesn't have +1. He would have been able to pick off a couple more villagers than he did there. That is the downside to skirmishers, of course. They're not very good for raiding, whereas archers are. However, archers are more expensive. Chris is actually nearly up to the castle age now. In come 2 scout cavalry from Halen. So these skirmishers are probably going to die. But Chris's objective is to kill as many villagers as he can. He knows these skirmishers aren't going to be so useful against knights in the castle age anyway. So he's going to try and do what damage he can. But these scout cavalries are definitely going to probably going to finish these guys off. There's another one coming in. So yeah, Chris is definitely going to lose his army here unless he retreats now. Although I'm not sure that's going to happen. These scout cavalry is just going to pick these skirmishers to shreds. They have no melee armor, so there's really nothing they can do against these scout cavalries. Unfortunately, Chris losing all of his skirmishers right there, and Halen taking the score lead now. Chris just advancing up to the castle age, but Halen is already castle, sending some knights across the map, and hopefully Chris is going to be prepared for this. He's got a few spearmen out already just to deal with them, and he's got this watchtower here to protect his gold, as well as this town centre behind. So I think Chris is going to be fine for the time being. Halen pushing out with more knights, and is he creating? What is he creating? Yeah, he's just going knights at the moment. He's not making any cavalry archer. That's probably because he doesn't have so much wood. Perhaps he wants to save his wood, yeah, for a town centre. That's exactly what he's doing. A town centre on this wood and stone here. Pretty nice position, and he's got a few gold collectors, just a few, enough to continually make knights at any rate, and in they come. Let's see what damage he can do. Chris very nicely walling off there, well, trying to wall off. I don't think, actually no, it's hard to say. I don't think he is fully walled here. Halen might have to go all the way around, or this is a gap. Yeah, there's a gap there, so he didn't fully wall, but at least he's playing it defensively. This is very nice. I do love how he's constructing his town. It's very defensively built, and that is exactly what we're looking for. And now Halen's coming in. There's not enough spearmen there to hold these knights off. These knights are probably going to kill most of Chris's army right now, but Chris throwing up a stable of his own, going to be able to at least get some knights out of his own when he gets up to the castle age, and also getting these villagers inside the town centre to kill off the knights. Unfortunately though, Chris is very exposed at the back, and if Halen gets down here, he's going to kill a lot of villagers off, which is not good at all for Chris. This could be horrible. He's going to lose, yeah, a good 2 or 3, 4, maybe 5 villagers there. Chris retreating back to his town centre, but heavy losses for him. Looking at the population, 41 to 53, and Chris is falling behind, but he's now into the castle age, which means knights can come out and cavalry archers can come out. He's certainly got enough resources for all of those things, and it looks like Halen might even kill these deer off if he's feeling particularly nasty. No, he's not going to do that. Surprising. But I think Chris is probably feeling the pressure right now. He's not able to kill off a lot of these knights. He's making more spearmen. He's got this second stable up, so he's making some knights of his own. No cavalry archers just yet, though. And upgrades on his knights are... oh yeah, +1 attack and +1 defense. But Chris constructing his base very nicely. Obviously, it's segmented. I don't know if that's a proper word. So that this is very safe here. Halen can't get through this area without going through the town centre, which is of course not what he wants to do. So Chris's construction of his base is absolutely brilliant, very defensive indeed. And now he's managing to get some knights of his own out. He could probably deal with this these knights at the back of his base. Of course, Halen doing exactly what he wants to do, preventing Chris from gathering from these farms. So it's really just disrupted Chris's economy. He's actually moved a lot to gold right here. Unfortunately, he's probably going to mine this gold out very soon. He's going to want to move to this gold pile, which of course is going to be slightly exposed. Halen building a town centre on the gold in the centre. So Chris losing map control slowly here. But he is pushing Halen back. He's now got a few knights, a little bit of army control, and he can now go back to the back of his base and kill off these knights from Halen. Halen, of course, just going to try and do what he can damage-wise. He may be able to pick up another villager here if Chris doesn't notice. Nope, he's not going to have much luck there at all, having to retreat again, losing his scout cavalry, and probably going to lose his knights here as well, as Chris is coming in with some more at the back. He's going to want to deal with these just to push them away. Chris has actually walled off the side here as well. I didn't notice that. Making sure that obviously Halen can't just slip through the sides with some knights and bring them around the back. Makes sense. And now Halen coming in with more knights. He's got quite a lot, I've got to say. Halen's economy is doing pretty decent. He's got 3 town centres. One is on this gold in the centre. One is on this stone and wood at the back, indicating to me that Halen's going to get a castle out soon. And of course his original town centre, which he's just going to make more farms with. So Halen's economy is going pretty strong. He's making some cavalry archers and knights as well. So cavalry archers getting in the mix, which is never good news if you're against a Hun player, as they are so cheap. Chris having to retreat back to his town centre again. There's too many knights coming in, and he needs to kill off these knights at the back as well, because Halen is really disrupting Chris's economy. But I think Chris is just about going to kill these knights off at the back. He can move his army to the front right here and start to deal with Halen's attack from the front. A monastery coming out as well. A very nice choice from Chris, as obviously one of the best counters to knights are monks. And he's now getting a few monks out. How many has he got? He's got 2 at the moment. He will have another out shortly, and 3 monks could really change the tide of a battle. The problem is the cavalry archers. Cavalry archers could be a little bit problematic if they get in close and pick off the monks, but in comes Halen trying to get round the side. He's not having much luck there, unfortunately for him. He's not going to be able to get around. Chris pushing out, perhaps. No, he's not going to push out just yet with the monks. He doesn't want to lose them to cavalry archers, and just healing up his cavalry, his knights for the time being. Makes sense. I don't see why he wouldn't want to do that. And now he's got a fair few knights actually. There's 12 knights right there and one over at the side. But let's see what he can do against cavalry archers. The cavalry archers are going to be able to micro out the way, hit and run, whilst Halen goes in the front with his knights and tries to kill off some villagers. I don't think he's going to be very successful. I believe, yeah. Chris got a couple of conversions there, 2 conversions, so that's really helped Chris out, and he's now pushing Halen back. Halen's cavalry archers won't stand up to this many knights. He's not getting enough for the time being, and Halen having to garrison inside of his town centre. A barracks coming out of the front, perhaps to make some spearmen or pikemen, and these cavalry archers getting cut to bits. Chris doing a nice push out there, and he's got quite a few knights on the field right now, and Halen is looking not in such a great position that he was a moment ago. A siege workshop coming out for Chris as well, indicating that he's probably going to try and take out this town centre pretty soon and push Halen back. If he can gain the centre, then Chris is going to be in a great position, but he's retreating once again. If I was Chris, I may have brought in some more knights just to finish off these cavalry archers for the time being. But let's have a look at their populations. Chris on 63 and Halen on 103. Halen's economy is absolutely spot on right now. 3 town centres at the back of his base. He's got enough stone for a castle, and of course this town centre on the gold right here. So Halen's economical harassment on Chris at the back here has been very successful. It's really slowed Chris down. He's still only got 1 town centre and hence a much worse economy. However, he does have a lot more military, so we'll have to see what Chris can do with that. Of course, he's going to be up against pikemen now because Halen is well aware that he's making a lot of knights, so making some pikemen to counter that, which of course is not a bad decision at all. Another archery range at the front to make some more cavalry archer. These guys have been upgraded with bodkin arrow, and cavalry archer kill off spearmen too quickly. In come the monks. I don't know if they're going to get any conversions there, but there's 4 monks for Chris. If he can convert 4 of these cavalry archers, he will win this battle. The problem is the pikemen at the front now. They're going to be a little bit of a problem for Chris. though I think he does have enough knights to probably kill them off. He's got a hell of a lot actually, and if he pushes out now, he may be able to do enough damage to keep Halen back. Let's see what he can do with these monks. If he can get some conversions, he's converting the pikemen actually. He's just converted one pikeman in there. He doesn't want the pikemen coming in and killing out off his knights. Obviously, he's going to lose all of his monks here, unfortunately, and Halen is just sitting on this hill. He's managed to get a couple of conversions on the cavalry archer, which is very nice, and it looks like Chris could actually win this battle. It's hard to say. Halen obviously on the hill, and with the pikemen coming out as well, is going to make it a little bit hard for Chris to deal with. He's obviously got this town centre with backup fire also, and it's so hard to say, but Halen is retreating back to his town centre, and yeah, it looks like Chris is going to retreat again. I don't know why. I mean, he could just keep pushing and kill Halen off here. Perhaps he's just scared that Halen's on the high ground. We'll have to see. He may be able to break him, but you know, he's pushing back and retreating. Halen managing to hold on for the time being. Of course, this spot is very important to him, as there is a lot of gold right here, and of course, Chris wants to keep the pressure on so that he can continue to mine gold from his own mining camp right here. Problem for Chris, though, now is that Halen is making a forward castle right here. He's going to have to prevent this castle from going up. Otherwise, Chris is going to be in a lot of trouble, as this castle is going to be a great offensive point for Halen to push from. I don't think he's got a ram out yet. He's going to want to get a ram pretty soon. He's going to try and pick off as many villagers as he possibly can and prevent this from going up, but he's losing a lot of knights in the process due to these cavalry archers behind. The castle just going up, and Chris now going to lose a lot of knights right here. Just look at the numbers dropping. That is the 14 knights, but they're going to drop very quickly, now down to 12, and he is going to lose even more with these mangonels coming in, and obviously the castle fire also is going to be a real problem for him. He's holding on for the time being, but I'm surprised Halen's managed to hold this position. Chris now down to 11 knights and dropping very drastically. These have got very little HP on them. This castle and the town centre doing enough damage to prevent Chris from breaking this point right here, and this castle probably won't go down to this one battering ram. Chris putting in everything he's possibly got. 61 population to 129, so Chris is really falling behind here. If he can take this castle out, he's still got a shot at staying in the game, but Halen is reinforcing very quickly with more cavalry archers and more pikemen, so it's really not looking good for Chris right now. There's too many cavalry archers right here. He's going to lose this ram, and once this ram is gone, I think Chris is going to have to resign. He's got no army left whatsoever, unfortunately, and Halen, with the better economy, is able to replenish his army very quickly. Another castle going forwards there, and if Chris doesn't stop this castle from going up, then there is actually nothing he can do. Yeah, he's resigned right there, as this gold would have been under too much pressure, and obviously with no gold he would have had no other option but to resign anyway. So unfortunately Chris did lose that one, but I wanted to show you this game just for the wolf luring at the start. I absolutely cracked me up the first time I saw it. It was absolutely brilliant. Never seen that strategy before, and obviously it makes a lot of sense. Sacrificing 2 militia to lure 10 wolves into your opponent's base and disrupt their economy and kill as many villagers as they can is a good idea. Unfortunately, it kind of backfired on Chris with when Halen brought them back into his town centre, but nice strategy nevertheless. Unfortunately, Chris did lose this one, as I know you guys think I'm picking on Chris for always showing his losses, but it just so happens that the games I choose he loses, or the games that get recommended to me he loses. Doesn't mean he's a bad player or anything. He is still one of the best players of all time. So thank you very much for watching, guys. I've been Zach, and I will see you next time.